Hello BookTube, hello friends, welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and in this video I'd like to focus on one particular author that I happen to have read 16 books by in the month of May, and I attribute that a little bit to Mood Reading May and a little bit to the fact that Scribd just kept letting me get the next one and get the next one and get the next one, which is pretty unusual for Scribd. Usually you get 2 or 3 books, like audiobooks, per month, and that's it. So I had a fun reading month. I did do book a day in May and read, of course, way more than those. I think I read a total of 71 books for the month because 34 of them were Dr. Seuss books that I read with my daughter, and then the other 37 were just miscellaneous books that I listened to on audio, read in print, and I just had a really fun reading month. So I ended up, because of Book a Day in May, I wanted to pick some of the shorter books, and I wanted to try to, well, this whole year I've been thinking that I've got a lot of books on my Audible shelf that I haven't read. And one of them is this little prequel novella. It's maybe, I don't know, 2 or 4 hours. It's no more than that. That is by Ally Carter, and it's a prequel to the Gallagher Girls. Well, I had not ever read the Gallagher Girls, and there's nothing wrong with reading the prequel before the rest of the series, but it literally came out last after all the other books were written. And I kind of like to follow the author's process when I read a book. I like to read, or at least when I read a series, I like to read things in the order that they were published because I assume that's the order they were written. Not always, but I just like to go with the flow of the author. So if a prequel is written first, then I'll read that first. But then if it's written first, it's not really a prequel, right? Anyway, all that to say, I wanted to finish this little prequel off of my Audible library, but I wanted to read the other books. So I discovered that they were on Scribd, the Gallagher Girl series, and so I thought, well, for middle grade May and hashtag book a day in May, I will read some of those books. I'll read until Scribd cuts me off. Well, that was the key right there, because they literally didn't cut me off until I had gotten through every one of her books on Scribd. So that was pretty awesome. So thank you, Scribd, for, not that anybody from Scribd would ever see this, but thank you anyway, because I definitely got my money's worth in the month of May. Now, prior to the month of May, I had, because I've been reading Sunshine State books, the only other trilogy or series that I had read by Ally Carter, this is how I even came to hear of her, was from this book right here, All Fall Down. This is book 1 in the Embassy Row series. This was a Sunshine State book in, I don't even know what year, but I've been reading them for about 6 years. This was published in 2015, so maybe 3-4 years ago, something like that. And then I noticed later that there were more in the series, 2 more. It's a trilogy, and they turned up on Hoopla maybe, and I ended up listening to those on audio and really enjoying it. This is about a girl whose father or grandfather, I believe, her mother was killed, and she goes to live with her grandfather, who is a U.S. ambassador in a fictitious Middle Eastern country, I think it's a Middle Eastern country. And so it takes place there. And it was really exciting. Lots of spy stuff and secret identity kind of things and stuff like that. And I thought, oh, well, that's really interesting. And definitely for a YA book, there was a lot more actual danger that the characters were in, which I think for middle grade, it's sort of, usually most middle grade books are written so that, the kids, they get involved in all these different exciting things, but they're not in actual physical danger. Some are, but in this book, I mean, there was some serious stuff going on. And I thought it was a very exciting trilogy, and I really enjoyed it. And after I had read that, I was hearing, I started hearing a few other YA booktubers talk about the Heist Society. And I didn't really give it much thought until I was listening to, watching a video from All Things Equilateral. I can't even think of her name right now, but anyway, just seems like a super fun person. She hosts the Chick-Lit-a-thon. And I think she was reading some Ally Carter books with her daughter. I don't know if they read Gallagher Girls or Heist Society or both. I'm not even sure. But I thought, I should really check those out. And then, fast forward, and I end up with this novella in my Audible library. It was an Audible original, and when I had the monthly subscription where I got 1 credit a month, along with that subscription, every month they publish some Audible originals, which are shorter programs. I want to say not all, really all books, audio books, but some are just published. Well, they are just published for Audible, so they're really only on audio. And so you get 2 choices, and a lot of times I would pick up whatever. There was usually one middle grade choice, and so I would usually pick that one up, and then maybe one of the others if it was something that I was interested in. So I still have a few of those in my Audible library that I've never listened to, and that was one of them. So that's how I ended up, because I had heard of Ally Carter. I've heard a few booktubers talk about her, and I had that novella. So now, last month comes along, middle grade May, and I decided that I am going to read the Gallagher Girls series, or at least listen to them on audio, and see what it's all about, you know. So, basically, before I start showing you all the books, I just want to say I really think that Ally Carter is a wonderful author for your girl to grow up with. I mean, and it wouldn't even have to be girls. I think her stories are really of more interest to girls, but there's certainly nothing wrong with boys reading them at all. But I think they're just, because the main characters are girls, there's usually a main boy character in all of the books, but they're just centered generally around girls or a girl or whatever, that, and they are about strong girl characters. So for that reason, I say, you know, because I think it would appeal mostly to your girls, and they are just really fun, exciting books to grow up with. And even the ones that are YA, and I say grow up with because some are middle grade, some are really right in between, and some are YA. And even the YA ones for the older kids are still very clean and safe, but yet super exciting, dangerous, if you will, and just very, I don't want to use the word wholesome because they're about spies and thieves and things like that. But I guess I want to say, well, okay, what I'm getting at is that I've read some YA books since I've been on BookTube that I would not want to read, you know, if I was in my 20s. And I would never give them to my teenage daughter to read. And I feel almost like it makes the teen room in the library a little bit unsafe, because there are, I'm thinking of one series in particular, is the A Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. It is so full of sexual content, that whole series. The first one, not as bad, but the second on through, I mean, has whole chapters of just sex scenes. And I thought, oh, what is this world coming to? But the Ally Carter books are nothing like that. But yet, I would venture to guess, and I think I've even heard people say this, that the main male character in Heist Society, which I'll show you in just a second, his name is Hale. I'm pretty sure people would list him as one of their top book boyfriends, because he's just really mysterious and fun, and you get the idea from her writing that, you know, he's just cool and good looking, and just, he's somebody you'd want to have your back, you know. And so for that reason, of course, then the main female character, they begin to kind of form this bond, you know, a special friendship bond, and kind of is working their way into, you know, into dating, a little bit of kissing, but, you know, not a whole lot. Definitely no sex scenes in these books at all. So that's why I say these are just really fun books for your kids to grow up with. So Ally Carter is just a wonderful author for you to check out. So, you know, if you have adolescent girls and they like to read things that are exciting. I don't know if my daughter ever read this one, since it was a Sunshine State book. She may have. She didn't always read them all like I did, but she may have read this one. Anyway, so let me just kind of go in order of how I would recommend for, you know, if your child is like 6th grade, you know, 5th or 6th grade, I would probably start actually with her newest series, which right now there's only 2. But, and first, one more thing I want to add. Just in general, because I don't want to spoil any particular book, but just in general, her books they're just about excitement and mystery. There is a lot of secret identities and secret family members, and just, I don't know, there's spies and thieves and secrets, and that's just kind of the general theme that runs through her books. And these newest books of hers kind of are a mixture of all of that. And this first one, Winterborn Home for Vengeance and Valor, is about a young girl. She was, as an infant, left on a doorstep, and then later ends up in this home for where they house a few children who needed homes. And there's some mystery surrounding the family and all of that. So it just, I don't even want to give spoilers. These are just really fun to go into without really knowing much, and they're just a lot of fun. So book one is this one, Vengeance and Valor, and then book two, The Winterborn Home for Mystery, Mayhem, and Mystery. I hope there's going to be another one of these. I don't know if there is or not. This one just came out, I think, this year, either this year or last year. I think this year. This looks like a brand new book, and so this is definitely her newest series. So I don't know if there will be more or not. Put my glasses on and see. Yes, this is 2021. So brand new, but I would start here if you have a younger adolescent, like 6th, 7th grade, or even 5th, 4th or 5th, really, they could start there. Then I would probably go to the Gallagher Girls. There are 6 books in that series and some novellas, and I think I have them in order here. My library didn't have a physical copy of book 4, but I've got all the others checked out. The first book is I'd Tell You I Love You, but Then I'd Have to Kill You. And this starts out with the girls. This is about a spy school for girls. And I believe since there's 6 books, this starts out, they come to the school when they're in the 7th grade, goes all the way up to 12th grade. So this is their 7th grade year. And this is their 8th grade year, Cross My Heart and Hope to Spy. And then their 9th grade year is Don't Judge a Girl by Her Cover. And then the 4th book I don't have, but I will look it up here real quick. It is called Only the Good Spy Young. So I don't know if you can get a good look at that. I need to turn my brightness down a little so that maybe that will show up better. Okay, then book 5 is Out of Sight, Out of Time. And of course, they've all got the school uniforms on. And then this one, school uniform plus graduation regalia. This is United We Spy. Now, there are also a few novellas and little short bonus material that are mixed in to that series. The first one is called Classified Material, and it is book, let's see, it is 4.5, and it just has a real plain cover. This is Gallagher Academy. You can find this by clicking on the Goodreads page for this book and scrolling down, and there is a link to it, and it takes you to, I believe, one of Allie Carter's websites, and you can read it directly on the website. You don't have to buy it. You just follow the link and you go right to it. And it was very short. Then the next one is, let's see here. So that's book 4.5. So I read that, and then I went to book 5. So then the next novella is 5.5, but it's also 2.5 in the Heist Society. So what I did before reading that, because I didn't want to spoil anything for Heist Society, and I wanted to learn the characters, I went to, because they were all unscribed, I went and listened to, I'm about to lose all my stuff here. I listened to the first 2 books in the Heist Society trilogy. There's the first one, Heist Society. That's hard to say, Heist Society. and then book 2, Uncommon Criminals, so that then I was ready for book 2.5 in this trilogy and 5.5 in the Gallagher Girls. And so I read that. I think I picked it up on my Kindle. It is on Hoopla on an ebook, but I kind of forgot it was there, and I went to Kindle to shop for it, and I think it was a free download. So I might have paid $1, but I'm pretty sure it was free. And so then I couldn't decide whether to go back to the last Gallagher Girls. Hang on a minute. This one's stuck. I couldn't figure out whether to go back to the last Heist Society, which is called Perfect Scoundrels, or whether to go to the last Gallagher Girls. And I ended up looking to see which one was published first. And I can't even remember now which one it was. So, it's neither here nor there. I went ahead and listened to both of them, and now I can't find this one. So this is the last one, book 6, and then book 3 of these 2 series. Then each of them have another novella that comes after. So I have read one of those. The Gallagher Girls has a little novella that is literally 12 pages. And again, if you go to the Goodreads page for it, it's called A Gallagher Wedding. If you go to the Goodreads page for Gallagher Wedding, there's a link. It takes you right to it. Now, I think I said this in another video. I will say that it's not one of the girls that just graduated who's getting married. It's not. It's fine. It is an older adult that is getting married. But it's just a little 12-page novella, and it was very cute. It was almost like an epilogue to the series. It would be completely appropriate if it was an epilogue in the last book, really. And maybe they would. I looked in the last book to see if it was there, and it wasn't. So then there is a 3.5 book in the Heist Society, and I am currently reading it. In fact, I didn't even put it on this particular shelf I'm looking at. It is called, let me go back and find the picture. It is called The Grift of the Magi. So it's a Christmas themed book, and obviously a play on words for Gift of the Magi. So I looked up grift, and it said grift is a swindle. So a grifter, I guess, is a swindler. So I don't know. I'm thinking, what are they going to do in the Grift of the Magi? Are they going to steal something for each other? I don't know. But I have it downloaded on my phone from Hoopla. I just didn't get to finish it in May. So hopefully I'll get to that before it expires this month. If not, I'll save it till Christmas. Not a big deal. And then I'll count that series completely done. So let me go back now to the shelf I was looking on. So then I neglected to go back and tell you, at some point during all of that, I did listen to the book on Audible. That is what prompted me to read and listen to all of the others. It is called The Spies That Bind, and it is 0.5 of the series. So it is an origin story. Well, it's really 2 things. It has a little bit about the founder of Gallagher Girls, who dates back all the way to Abraham Lincoln's time. And then it moves forward back to the main character of the series and her experience before the first year of school started. Because her mother has just gotten the job to be the headmistress at the school. And her mother is a former CIA agent. So it goes from there. So that was a fun book. I did enjoy that a lot. And then, let's see, I want to show you just a few other things. So I've pretty much shown you most everything that I read in May. Now, let me go back to this one. This is, I'm pretty sure, well, this could really be appropriate for a middle grade or YA. The Sunshine State list that this book was on was for 6th to 8th grade. So I would still kind of lean more towards YA on this one, but still perfectly appropriate for either age group. But I wanted to show you the other 2 in that series, and I did notice that there are a couple of novellas that I have not read. The first one is called Before the Fall, Arrival. And then there's, and that's 0.4. And then the next one, no, I have that wrong. That was 0.5. Point 0.4 is before the fall, departure. So there's departure, then arrival. Departure also has a link right here in the Goodreads page, a link to it, and I looked it up just now. It's 12 pages, so that's awesome. And then before the fall, arrival, I think you have to find that on your Kindle or something, because it's not listed here. So I have a feeling it's a little bit longer than the rest of the series. Oh, there went a whole tower of books. And the cat almost got pinned under them, but he didn't. So the second book, the second main book in, I hit the wrong one. So these have like nursery rhyme titles. All Fall Down is the first one. Then number 2 is See How They Run. And then number 3 is Take the Key and Lock Her Up. So those are fun titles, and enjoyed those a lot. So then I still had a little bit of time, and this audiobook was on Hoopla. This is a standalone book, and I really enjoyed this. This is called Not If I Save You First. It's definitely a YA book. It is about the president's son and his former Secret Service agent's daughter. They knew each other in the White House, and series of events happened, and so the Secret Service agent ended up leaving the White House, took his daughter, they moved to Alaska. 6 years later, the same president is still in office, and he sends his son to Alaska. I'm not really sure why. Maybe because he knows he's in danger. I'm not sure, but I think he failed to tell the son that, because no sooner did he get there than he's attacked. Him and his friend are attacked. She's pushed off a cliff, left for dead, and they take off with him. Well, she survives, and she's a pretty amazing girl because, her father's a Secret Service agent, and so he's trained her in a lot of skills, and she is able to follow them, and it's their survival story of how they are able to get away from this criminal and all the stuff that happens. And she's so smart and so cool, and I just really enjoyed this a lot. It's called Not If I Save You First. So then that is everything that I've read by Allie Carter. She does have a couple of other books that I can't really tell you about. There is another duology that she wrote several years ago. It's like from 2005. And it's a duology, and I was looking at it today, and it really kind of looks like it might be for adults or new adult. So I'm not sure of the content of those. I believe this is the first one. It kind of has a game playing theme. This one's called Cheating at Solitaire, and it's about a girl or a woman who, I'm not really sure. I shouldn't have started that sentence if I couldn't finish it. Anyway, then Learning to Play Gin is I can't really see that too well, I don't think. But anyway, those are the only two in that series. I don't know anything about them, but I'm going to guess that those are new adults. And then she's got a nonfiction book. It's called, I think I put it on here. No, I didn't put it on here. It's called Hey Allie, How Do You Write a Book? Or How Do I Write a Book? And it's a book of writing advice for teens. And I thought, oh, that's so cool. My friend Akos, who I've talked about before, she's the one that started Middle Grade May. She has read it. I saw it, and she rated it 5 stars. So I know it must be good. And that's about it. There's a couple of other little random things on there, but under her author title. But those are her main books. And I just think she is just a really fun author to check out. If you like to read about spies and even her thieves stories, they're kind of more like Robin Hood's. There's usually a moral aspect to whatever they're trying to steal, but they're just really good con artists, and I don't know. They're just fun. And like I said, a lot of the stories, there's maybe some kind of secret identity, or maybe in some cases the mom is on the bad side and the kid's on the good side, or vice versa. I mean, there's just all kinds of scenarios and dynamic, unusual family dynamics, and I would recommend them. I think that they are a lot of fun. Now, if you're an adult and you want to start reading and you want to try something, I would just start with the Heist Society. It's just a trilogy, and they're just really, really fun. And that is probably her most popular trilogy or series at all. But Winterborn, her newest one, is really good too. They're all good. So, start anywhere, really, really. They're just all good. So that's all I have for this video. I didn't mean to make this too long, but it's just, she's a fun author to check out, and I hope you will. Let me know if you've read anything by her in the comments. Let's chat. And that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.